my YouTube channel. This is You Said ASMR. I am Said, and I'm going to jump straight into this. So this is a story time about when I was in high school. Now, high school for people who are not in America is between 14 and 18. 14 years old to 18 years old. You can go earlier if you skip some grades, or you can get held back or reclass and be a little older than that. So, older, younger, doesn't really matter. The whole point of this is I'm trying to say this story takes place between the years of like 14 and 18. So at this point, I have a friend named Jonathan, right? So Jonathan is not his real name, obviously, but all names are going to be protected with the exception of mine in this, because you guys obviously know I'm Said. So Jonathan and I become closer as the years pass throughout high school. So high school is 4 years, and freshman year we were cool, everything was alright. Sophomore year, junior year, and all on going on into senior year. So I like this girl freshman year of high school, and her name is Ashley. We'll call her Ashley. So Jonathan, Ashley, and myself, we are all cool with each other. We're all friends. But at this point, like going into high school, none of us knew of anything, because we're just friends at this point. There was nothing else, nothing more. It was, we're friends. So Jonathan and I become cooler because we play sports together. We just kind of start hanging around each other more. So we're just like, man, you're cool, I'm cool, let's be cool. So at this point, we're cool with one another, and Ashley and I become cool, but in a different way. So her and I started out as friends, but then since we lived in like close proximity and we went to the same school, it was kind of just like, after a while, I realized like, wow, I really like this girl. Like I started talking to her more often, and I would walk her to and from school because, I mean, we lived in close proximity. It made sense. So as we spoke more, I feel like our bond, we kind of created a liking to one another. I think she liked me as well, but at this point, this is kind of speed running through what's to come. So we're in class, and Jonathan tells me, he's like, you know what, I like this girl, I don't know how to make a move. I'm like, alright, cool, who's the girl? He tells me the girl's Ashley. Now at this point in time, he has no idea that Ashley and I speak every single day. We are talking about life as much as you can at that age, and we're talking about our future. There's just so much. We're building at this point. That's how I feel. So he decides to tell me just out of nowhere. He's like, yeah, I like this girl, I like Ashley. And I'm like, cool, like, did you make a move on her? Does she know? Like, I'm asking all these questions because I'm just like, this entire time Ashley has not mentioned his name. So I was confused because I was just like, I thought me and her were going to be together, but it sounds like maybe she was just talking to all of us, but it doesn't really matter. So at this point, Jonathan's like, no, I didn't make a move on her. Like, we're just friends, we're cool, we hang out, but like they only like play sports outside of school together, and just when they hang out, it's more in a group setting, and it's never a one-on-one setting. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, that makes sense, but you kind of got to make a move here. He doesn't make a move. Instead, he told me that he wants me to help him, but I can't do that because I know that I like her. So I tell him, hey, just like a heads up, like I like her as well, but I'm not going to make any moves on this girl at all. I was like, you have my word. I'm not making any moves on this girl because you came to me and you told me that you like her. So since you came to me and told me that you like her, I will not do anything at all. I will keep it platonic. We are just going to be friends. We're going to continue just as we were. So like, there's no harm, no foul. That's what I thought. I thought like if I told him, hey, no harm, no foul, I'm not making any moves on her, I'm not doing anything, so we're good. I was wrong. We were not good. So we all still remain friends. she no longer wants to walk to and from school together. Like, she wants nothing to do with me. And this came out of nowhere at all. So I didn't do or say anything to cause this. I was a little thrown off by it. But then at the same time, we're in high school, so I'm just like, it is what it is. I move on with my life. She moves on with her life. Jonathan moves on with his life. Now, at this point, senior year rolls around. We're talking about universities that we're going to and everything. And Jonathan and I are going to the same university. So then Jonathan says, hey, why don't we just become roommates? And I was just like, okay, that makes sense. I was a little worried, not because of who he is, the person, but at that point in time, I'd not lived with anyone. Like, I've not shared a room with anyone else except for my brother. And so I just seen a lot of horror stories about like people who were not as clean or who were just terrible roommates. And since him and I had been friends for a while, it's just like, I don't want that to alter the friendship that we already had. Like, I felt like that would just be weird. But then again, I didn't want to chance it with just a random person. So obviously I tell Jonathan, I'm like, yeah, cool, let's be roommates. So we decide to be roommates. Our freshman year of college, we're having fun, we're having a blast. And then Jonathan's like, I need to tell you something. And I'm just like, what's happening? Like, what's going on? He's like, I haven't told you this before, but like, do you remember back then when you said that you liked Ashley? And I was like, yeah, I remember. Like, but then all of a sudden she just stopped talking to me. It was super weird. And he was like, the reason why she stopped talking to you is because after you told me you liked her, whenever I told you I liked her, I went and told her that you have just so many girls and that you're just this one big player. And he just essentially, he just put a lot of dirt on my name, and he put it in her head that she is not the only girl and that I have too many. And so eventually I'm going to do her dirty, or like I'm going to like go behind her back or do something to hurt her, because I think at this point in time he had realized that she liked me back. And so he tells me this, and my initial reaction was like, oh wow, you just altered my life. Like, this could have been the love of my life. Like, we could be married right now. And so that was my childish brain, my 17-year-old brain, just thinking like, wow, this man just ruined my entire life. But then thinking back on it, I say all that to say, within that story, I was really hurt at that moment, because I was just like, this is my friend, and he tried to, I guess, put dirt on my name to help him, but then he ended up never making a move on her. So he did all of that for no reason. He just threw dirt on my name. He just ruined a friendship, potential relationship for no reason. Now, I say all that to say, none of this matters. Okay, so in life, at the time, some things may seem bigger than what they really are, but it does not matter, because at the end of the day, Ashley got married. At the end of the day, Jonathan got married, and not to each other. I'm not married, but either way, they ended up getting married, not to each other, none of them. And it's beautiful, like how everything works out. So I wanted to just do a quick story time, just because like in my head at that time, it just seemed way bigger and so serious. I mean, obviously I got over it because high school was over. We're in college now. And at that point, and I would say whenever I was like my first year in university, I will say I had fun. Like, I was having fun. I was dating around until ultimately I did meet a girl who became my girlfriend. But I felt as though like the way that he handled that, I would never do that to someone. And I gave him also the fact that he waited. That's another thing. The fact that he waited